Topic: Part 1, A Matter of Feeling. Produced by Black Bottom James at BKK Productions. Theme: Jesus is real. Please subscribe and prepare to be amazed and astonished. There is a hindrance in being human, encountering the traps and deceptions of the enemy. However, many are innate and not so easily repelled, resisted, or repulsed. They are a part of what makes us human, and a man always trying to maintain control, restricting and curbing ourselves to a specific lifestyle presentable to the Almighty without breaking the vows for His dominance and supremacy, using the attributes given to us for completing the task intended for us to perform. God knew His plan before engaging in this endeavor. It was a plan detailing the creation of man and the earth in a prescribed time, initiating the parameters for us to follow. The Creator designed man to meet the requirements of this life. Of course, after the fall of man, everything changed. Women were given the ability to bear children, and men were provided reproductive organs needed, i.e. testicles, sperm and other hormones required for regeneration, but especially the hormone testosterone. Testosterone is a key performance enhancer for its role in the development of reproductive tissues such as testicles and prostate, as well as promoting other secondary characteristics needed in the overall sexual health of man, providing the desires and continuing this reproductive process through intercourse. There are only two forces of authority commanding this earth. One is through love and compassion, and the other has a passion for abhorrence, detestation, and aversion for anything virtuous and upright. These forces define all that is good and evil dwelling in this world for either correction or punishment. God does correction is used to inform or change the path of man, moving in a direction of doom or failure, with an intent of averting his thinking or acts. God does not place disease, illness, or ailment upon the body of man designed to punish or kill. While on the other hand, the enemy does all he can to kill, steal, or destroy man by using an infectious, debilitating virus or disease, intentionally causing his harm or death. The enemy has continually confused man into believing God has placed diseases and all forms of sickness in the body of man without considering or having knowledge or limiting the power of the enemy. Remember, when Moses laid down his staff and it changed into a serpent, the magician and sorcerers of the Pharaoh laid their rods, and immediately these staffs transformed into serpents, the same as Moses. Of course, Moses' serpent consumed both other serpents, clearly defining good and evil and the path of each, as a reference for all future events. God will triumph over Satan. You must understand, God uses the enemy for an implement of utilization, having purpose or benefit needed to be employed in exploiting the evils in man to be shown and discovered in order for repatriation before God for forgiveness. However, the enemy refuses acknowledging or consenting of any weaknesses and flaws, but uses all irrational decisions or assessments postulating the mistakes of man by his design or implementation against him in degrading practices and methodologies, formulating a plan of deceit, deception, and false loyalty, seeking to distort man, while forming a diabolical revision and restructuring the planet devised for his own devious purposes, and destroying anyone or anything against the established attributes for conquest of the earth. God allowed the enemy a vision of oppression, having total dictatorship of the earth, exhausting all fallacious applications of triumph and subjugation before being exiled, and displaced of power over man before being castigated into the cavity of the abyss. However, the resulting influence of the enemy upon man provided a lingering and prolonged change in his character, seeking a salacious, contentious and sordid actions denying the commands of the Lord, God Almighty, and unleashing his form of debauchery for the enemy. This includes an entire category of sins designed to destroy the authority of God, providing plausible means of escaping this brutality of the enemy. Throughout the time after the fall of man, Satan began a credulous assault upon man, dissecting every event, analyzing all events, incidents and affairs of man, determining his weaknesses before launching an incursion upon man, revenging his intellect, examining his character and discovering his faults and flaws, determining his limitation for an onslaught, penetrating every crevice of his being, looking for the easiest entryway of manipulation and persuasion. Man is most accessible and deceived through woman. God made woman for man and vice versa, yet man is intoxicated, euphoric and ecstatic for the love of a woman. The enemy was there at the first test, assessing the lure and enticement a woman can offer man, leading to his detriment. The temptation of man was made before his fall by woman, in which the conditions of the game governing the fall did not change the specific between relationship man and woman, only the environment conditions. The affection man has for woman has been the same since creation from the rib on man. Man has an unceasing, unvarying and incessant intimate desire for woman. No other emotion modifies the character, embraces the affection and creates a stimulus of sensation, awareness and perception, as just the thought of stimulation and arousal of being in the arms of a woman. Yet, man is only reacting to an innate desire and instinct embedded in his spirit and soul, beckoning the enticement of a woman. Man cannot fight against these emotions, regardless of his awareness and attentiveness of the possible outcome. He is relentless in his pursuit and cognizance of his consciousness, appreciating and deliberate in all his actions. When God created man and his intimacy for woman, it was meant to express their love for each other after marriage. However, these emotions for woman cannot be contained or restricted for matrimonial zeal. Man has allowed the allure woman in transposing his desires for soothing and unbridled execution of unleashed emotions and satisfying his passionate cravings for an unmarried woman. This is a fight against your own body in repelling its needs and necessities. The body is demanding a formal response to its wishes.